Okay, good morning everybody. Today is Monday. It is August 17th. We're starting a brand new week and we are more than halfway through August. Okay, like normal, we're starting with our math workbook and we are using our thicker workbook, our class workbook, and we're going to turn to page 31. Okay, so on 31, you are being introduced to what is called a multiplication table. This is a multiplication table. This will be something that you will see often throughout your academic career, meaning throughout your time in school, and it is a very useful tool. I am going to show you, for example, how you would use this. For example, if I was trying to figure out the answer or the product for the problem 2 times 4, for the equation 2 times 4, then I would find my 2 in that dark green row, and I would find the corresponding factor in the dark green column. And oh, by the way, it doesn't matter what order you look for your factors in. If you want to look for 4 up here and 2 here, you will get the same answer. So what you do is you use your target to find a meeting point, which will then give you the product. So where is it that these two numbers or these two factors intersect? Okay, so if I do this and I highlight that entire column and then I highlight this entire row, where do those two factors intersect at? And they intersect at the 8. And that is my answer to 2 times 4. 2 times 4 gives me 8, okay? So, and again, just to prove to you, if you did it opposite, so if I did my 4 first, and then I did my 2, let's look at where those intersect. The 4 and the 2, you're going to see the 2 and the 2 intersect at 4. That's because 2 times 2 is 4. 4 times 2, again, I get 8. Okay? So use that information, what we just demonstrated. You guys can see my pages are blowing around. It's going to be very hot today here in the Bay, so I have a fan going. Number 1, so you're going to use this information to help you answer 1 through 4. Number 1 says, discuss how you can use the target to find the product of 8 times 5. So I just gave you 4 times 2, okay? Discuss how you can use the target to practice division. So I'm going to leave that on your own to kind of try to work that out. Number 3, practice using the target. And number 4, when using the target, how are multiplication and division alike and how are they different? Okay, so you're doing 31. You're also doing 32 and 33. So 32, what we're going to do is it says we're going to write an equation and solve the problem. And guess what else? We have to show our work. Okay, so make sense of the problems. Mrs. Chang bought 8 pairs of mittens. How many individual mittens did she buy? Remember, pairs means that we have how many? 2. So our equation will be 8 times 2. If you want to draw your mittens, you can do that, right? So there's 1 pair. Kind of a sideways heart. There's another pair. I'm going to keep drawing my mittens. There's another pair. You have to show your work, okay? Even if you're not, I'm not really good at drawing, and that's okay. You guys know I'm not good at drawing, but if I need to show my work, I'm going to show my work. So I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 pairs so far. Here comes my 7th pair, and then here comes my 8th pair. So that's going to show my work. That satisfies showing my work. I wrote the equation 8 times 2. I'm going to go 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16. 8 times 2 or 2 times 8 is 16. So if you even wanted to write your commutative property, you could go 2 times 8 equals 16. And you guys know if you want to take it even further and include all of the fact families, then you could do 16 divided by 8 equals 2, or 16 divided by 2 equals 8. And that will give you a nice extra practice. Okay, So and then you will do the same for 6 through 10, okay? So then your last assignment with this book is page 33, and you know at this point, and we're going to practice doing this during our Zoom, that you're going to get out your whiteboard and you're going to practice writing your tens. What is your tens multiplication? I think you will find your tens to be extremely easy because many of us can count. We can skip count by tens easily, right? 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100. 1 times 10 is 10. 2 times 10 is 20. 3 times 10 is 30. And then you're going to practice doing your division as well. Okay, but we'll probably do this in class, in our Zoom class today. All right, any remaining time, you need to go to Math IXL. I will assign some new stars today. All right, next assignment is getting out your homework and remembering, and we're going to complete pages 19 and 20. So we go to page 19. Complete your study plan. Today I am going to try to stay in my office with the lights dimmed down so it doesn't get too dark, my fan on, and I'm just going to try to plug away at my work. That's my plan for today. So it says write an equation and solve the problem. It does not say that you have to show work, so it's your lucky day. All right, number 1, Tanya had 14 cups to fill with juice. She put them in 2 equal rows. 2 equal rows, and usually when we see that word equal, we know we're going into division, okay? How many cups were in each row, If you need to draw a picture, get your whiteboard out and use that, okay? But we're going to do 14 divided by 2, and I know that 14 divided by 2 is going to give me 7 because 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. So if I count out 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and I put that in 1, then I should have 7 left. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That's right. So 2 equal groups would be 7 in each. Okay? You'll do the same thing for 2 through 6. All right. Now we're done with page 19, so we're going to 20. This is the back sides, which you may have figured out because it was the same way in 2nd grade. The back side of your pages, or the odd number, or the even numbered pages rather, are a review. That's why it says remembering. Homework is always like going over the skill that we learned. Remembering is remembering previous skills. So in your directions it says make a math drawing for the problem and label it with a multiplication equation, then write the answer to the problem. So Kishore has 4 stacks with 3 books in each stack. How many books are there in all? So I will help you. 4 times 3, but you need to solve that problem and you need to draw a picture. I would recommend doing an array. Same thing with number 2. Write a multiplication for the array. I think you guys can handle this. How many dots? It is not asking you to count how many dots, right? It's asking you to create a problem, a multiplication problem, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, so you should be using those factors in your multiplication problem. All right, in the bottom, multiply or divide for the unknown numbers. Of course, we know if we have an asterisk or a dot or an X, we are multiplying. If we have a division problem, or if it looks like a fraction with just that bar in between 2 numbers, then we're dividing. Number 10 asks you to stretch your thinking. Explain how to solve the following problem using division and multiplication. There are 18 students. And pay attention to that word. There are 18 students in the classroom. There are 2 students in each group. How many groups of students are there? Okay. And again, any extra time, you're going to go to IXL. I'm not sure that you'll have extra time today, though. Okay, in your reading textbook, and I think there's only 1, but there may be 2 or 3 of you who don't have your reading textbooks yet. And if you don't have your reading textbooks, then I am posting the pictures of what you're supposed to read on Google Classroom, so you can use that, okay? However, we finished reading Amazing Grace. We're now going to be reading, and I think you're going to see that this relates to our social studies unit as well. You're going to be reading pages 66, 67, though you see there's really not a lot to read on these 2 pages. But you are going to be reading 68 and 69 and really focusing in on these vocabulary words. And you can say them after me. Donate, unaware, members, and contribute. So you will complete reading these textbook pages, and like I said, please remember that I'm going to be putting pictures up here in just a minute, okay, on Class Dojo. as soon as I finish the video. So once you read 66 through 69, then you're going to get your reading practice workbook, and you're going to complete pages 34, which uses the same vocabulary words that you just saw. We just went over them. Unaware, members, contribute, and donate. And you'll fill in based off of whichever definition matches the word. And then you have to write a sentence using one of your vocabulary words. And you're also going to work on page 35, main idea and details, which I feel like we are really, really good at, you guys. We worked hard on that in 2nd grade. We're working on it a lot in 3rd grade, which is awesome. Okay, so this is what you're completing for reading. If you have any remaining time, you need to go read on Raz Kids for 20 minutes. Do not, we're not done with this book. We will come back to this for language arts. Okay? All right. With writing, did you guys try to type your paper? We are on a brand new paper. I'm going to put 1 on here just because this is my first writing prompt. But now we are going to our 2nd writing prompt. I am so excited. I'm so proud of the work that we did the last 2 weeks. So we are on our new prompt, okay? So you're going to your next page in your notebook. You're going to write prompt 2. I'm going to put a 2 up here and circle it as well, just so it's easy for me to find in my notebook. And my prompt for this week is what excites you and why? Or we would say what excites me and why. Okay, now before we go on to doing our pre-writing, which will look like this, I need you guys to think about one thing. And that's exactly what I was going to describe to you. That one thing, it should be one thing that excites you. It's not going to be 3 different things in your details. It's one thing that excites you, and then 3 reasons why that excites me, okay? So for my prompt, I write what excites you and why, and yeah, you should copy that in your notebook, okay? And then I want you to go ahead and put the phase that we are in for the writing process, because the writing process has 5 stages, and you went through all 5 stages the last 2 weeks. So now we're going to keep repeating those stages throughout the year, okay? Our first step in the writing process is our pre-writing. Before we actually get to our writing, we're going to get all of our ideas down on paper like we did here, okay? So keep in mind, your shapes don't have to be perfect. I think for one of my pre-writing that a student turned into me, she used stars for her details. That's awesome. Okay, I'm going to use, this time I'm going to use a square, and then I'm going to put my details in circles. And remember, I am not in an art class, so I am not worried about making any perfect shapes. Maybe you want to put your details in triangles. The only thing that I would ask is that you have your main idea a different shape than your 4 details. It's actually going to be 3 details and 1 conclusion, okay? So I'm really proud of my pre-writing paper. I think it looks really good. All right, and now I've got to ask myself, what excites me and why? All right, something that really excites me, and if you guys know me, then you already know this about me. Hiking really excites me, okay? That is my main idea. Hiking really excites me. And if you remember, and hopefully you have your box of crayons, I want you to take your green crayon and I want you to outline your main idea in green. Do you remember what color we're going to do our details in? Let's see. Here's a hint. All right, so 3 reasons why hiking excites me, because I'm focusing on one thought, right? So the 3 reasons that hiking really excites me is I get to see beautiful sights. I usually take my dogs with me, right? So I get to spend time with my dogs. And then the last reason that hiking really excites me is I get to meet new people when I'm out on the trails, okay? So you'll notice with my details, I do not have complete sentences. My main idea, I do put in a complete sentence just because it's easy for me to. But guess what? If you just wanted to write what excites you, you could do that. If I just wanted to write hiking, I would be fine. All right, that would be sufficient for what you need to do today. Okay, and we know in our concluding paragraph, that's where this is going to go in this detail bubble. So I'm just going to combine all three of my details. Hiking really excites me because, and we worked really hard on those because sentences last year. And again, I'm not worrying about spelling so much. My point right now as a writer is I've got a new idea and I'm going to get all my ideas down on paper. And because I'm talking and not paying attention to my writing, I'm messing up. I get to see beautiful sights, comma, spend time with my dogs, comma, and I'm going to run out of room, but that's okay. Nothing until it's my final draft. I'm not really worried about making it look perfect. Hiking really excites me because I get to see beautiful sights, spend time with my dogs, and meet new people. Okay? All right, now if you have read, and I did not bring my crayons to class today, so I can't find. Oh, yes, I got them. Good. So if you remember, just like we did on our first writing paper, I would like for this to be in red. Okay? Because that's your concluding. That's where we're going to end our paper. All right, so that's all you have to do for writing, you guys. We are going to come back to this notebook for social studies, so don't put this away completely. All right, as you are going into language arts, you're going to go back to your reading practice workbook. You are going to watch your YouTube video, and then you're going to complete page 43. So this week we are talking about subjects. Okay, sentences have subjects and they have verbs. But the only thing we're worrying about this week are subjects. So what you're going to do is make sure you highlight what's your new vocabulary. You have lots of vocabulary on Monday, always. Every sentence has a subject. If it's a complete sentence, it should have a subject. And the subject of a sentence tells what or whom the sentence is about. So I would highlight that. What or whom indicating that there's a person, the sentence is about. So the directions say to add a subject to each group of words. So I will do numbers 1 and 2, and you will do the rest. All right. It says blank hopped into the water. I'm going to write the frog. So that's the subject. That is what the sentence is about. It's about the frog. Blank was bright and warm. How about today was bright and warm? And it's going to be bright and warm. Today is the subject. That is what we're writing about, the day. Okay? All right. So you'll finish with 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8, and then spend any remaining time on IXL. You are going to have some new yellow stars there. Okay, science. This one's a little bit easier today. You're going to work with a new word, which I'm so excited about, and I think you guys will think it's kind of a fun vocabulary word to use a lot. Last week we talked a lot about adaptations. We had a great lesson on Friday on adaptations. I think many of you were drawing pictures. I heard somebody was drawing a picture of a porcupine. I heard somebody was drawing a picture of a flounder. That was the fish that swims on its side, which is crazy, which is kind of cool though. Okay, so again, you're in your interactive study guide. You are reading your information on this word. What are different environments where things live? And the answer is biomes. Can you say biomes? Biomes. Biomes are major areas that have similar year-round weather patterns and support similar kinds of living things. So you will not be surprised to find out that biomes include places like grasslands, deserts, and tundras, which we'll read all about. Okay, but get your work done on biomes. Again, I'll help you with the first one. This is what is a biome. Major areas that have similar year-round blank are called a biome, and it looks like it should be 2 words. That have similar year-round weather patterns. It's right there, so I'm going to go weather patterns. plural, and it says A, so pattern would not be plural. Okay, and I am going to highlight where I found my answer. Okay. All right, so you'll do the rest, and then if you have extra time within that 20-minute time requirement, then you're going to go over to IXL, work on your yellow stars first. If you finish all your yellow stars, then do your random skills. Okay, now last assignment for the day. We are going on to lesson 2 of unit 4 in our social studies, and it is aligned with exactly what is happening in the world. So we are going to turn to page 89, and your theme for this lesson, your essential question to help kind of get your mind ready for what to think about, is why is being a good citizen important? And I think a lot of us already wrote about this in the last week, so you guys kind of already had this answer, or rather you already have this question answered, and you haven't answered well. All right, but this lesson is going to give us some more ways of how to be a good citizen, and how we are a good citizen is we vote, right? We volunteer and we pay taxes, even though we don't like to pay taxes. But our assignment for today is to copy your vocabulary words in your notebook. Okay, so it says from page 89, so I'm on page 89. Here are my 3 vocabulary words. I'm going to my social studies notebook, which is simply my writing notebook turned upside down and backwards. All right, and one past Biddy Mason. Such a good lesson on Biddy Mason, you guys. And I'm coming to my next clean sheet. I'm writing today's date, which is the 17th. I am going to put vocabulary at the top. I'm going to put a cute little cloud around it just because I want to be cute. Okay? And then all I'm going to do is I'm going to copy my 3 new vocabulary words just to practice. Okay? I've got vote, volunteer, and taxes. All right, so vote. Then I'm just going to copy what my vocabulary words, what the definition says, right? Vote to show your choice for something or someone. Okay? All right. That V on the side, if you want to copy it, you can. It means it's a verb. It's a verb. All right. So just your 3 vocabulary words for social studies, any remaining time in IXL, and then you are done for the day, boys and girls. So make sure that you, I would be cautious about getting outside. It is very hot out, so I'm not going to give that advice. I'll leave that up to your families. But make sure you're drinking plenty of water. I will give that advice. And make sure you are trying not to use a whole lot of electricity, because there is a warning that our electricity may go out if we're all using too much power. Please make sure you do something to help your family around the house, and be kind to your brothers and sisters if you have any at home. Okay? Have a great day, you guys. I'll see you at our Zoom. Bye.